Hi everyone, hope you all fine. Now in this video we are going to discuss the topic of radial acceleration. Okay, we will derive the expression for radial acceleration basically. Now here we have a particle which is moving in a circular path. Okay, it is moving in the circular path in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, it is moving in anti-clockwise direction like this. Okay, acha. Now see, we know that if a particle is moving in a path, okay, and suppose a particle moves like this, now at any point on this path, okay, suppose at this point you want to find the direction of velocity, okay, then you draw a tangent at this point. Now the direction of the tangent will give you the direction of velocity, instantaneous velocity. Okay, so now here the particle is moving, in this case it is moving in a circular path. Okay, so suppose at this location, say this is location A and this is location B. So at A and B we have to find the direction of velocity. So what we do, at A we draw a tangent. Okay, so when we draw a tangent, so it is in the upward direction, particle is moving like this. So at this point the velocity v1, it is in the upward direction. Okay, this is v1. Similarly at point B, if we draw a tangent, we will get the direction of velocity v2 at B. Okay, acha. Now we have found the direction of velocity at A and B. Acha. Now suppose this particle is undergoing uniform circular motion. Okay, uniform circular motion. Now uniform circular motion means the particle is moving with constant speed. Okay, it is moving with constant speed. Constant speed means magnitude of velocity is constant. Magnitude of velocity is constant. Magnitude of velocity is constant means v1, it is equal to v2. Magnitude of v1 is equal to v2 and it is equal to, say, v. So now see, we have velocity v1 and v2 represented by the two vectors. Okay, now let us shift the two vectors, okay, such that their magnitude and direction remains invariant. Okay, now see, we know one property of vector, that a vector remains invariant under lateral transformation. What is the meaning of this? It means if you have a vector, okay, suppose this is vector A. Okay, now if you shift this vector parallel to itself, then it will not lose its property. It is not going to lose its magnitude. It is not going to lose its direction. Okay, so that means a vector remains invariant. Invariant means it is not changing its property under lateral transformation. That means you are shifting the vector parallel from this position to this position. Okay, then it remains invariant, it remains same. So here we are going to move the two vectors v1 and v2. Okay, v1 and v2. So suppose now v1 is, suppose this is v1. Okay, v1 and v2, this is v2. So I have shifted these two vectors, okay, this vector and this vector, in such a way that the tails are coinciding at this particular point. Okay, tails are coinciding. Now if this is v1, okay, and this vector is v2, then what will be this vector called? Now let us call this vector as delta v. Okay, now if you use triangle of vector addition, here v2 and delta v, they are in the same sense of rotation. v1 is in opposite sense of rotation. So that means v1 is the resultant of v2 and delta V. V2 and delta V. Okay. So that means V1 minus V2 is equal to delta V. That is equal to delta V. Okay. Acha. So now we have one relation, V1 minus V2 is equal to delta V. Okay. Acha. Now from A to B, see when the particle has moved from A to B, suppose delta S is the displacement. Okay. So this displacement is delta S. Okay. Suppose this is arc length AB, it is equal to delta S. Okay. Now see, we have assumed that the particle is moving with a constant speed. So we have taken modulus of V1 is equal to modulus of V2 is equal to V. So V is the speed. Now the particle goes from A to B in time delta t. In time delta t. So I can write delta S is equal to V delta t. Delta S equal to V delta t. Okay. Acha. Now also, if R is the radius, then we know that angle equal to arc length by radius. Angle here, it is delta theta. Angle is delta theta. So I can write delta theta is equal to arc length AB divided by R. Arc length AB divided by R. Okay. So what is AB? AB is delta S. So this is delta S divided by R. And delta S is V delta T. So this is V delta T divided by R. Okay. So from this, delta theta is equal to V delta T by R. So I can write this as delta theta by delta T is equal to V by R. Delta theta by delta T is equal to V by R. Okay. This is one relation. Okay. Acha. Now another relation is, see here in this triangle, we have, see this is V2, this is V1. Okay. Now if you closely observe this A and B are at the same location. A and B, they are at the same location. Okay. That means this arrow, it will be directed in this direction. So in that case, delta theta will be 0. Okay. Delta theta will be 0. And this, if A and B are at the same location, V1 and V2, they will be in the same direction. So angle between V1 and V2 will also be 0. Okay. So basically, see, suppose this is V1. Okay. And this is V2. So when A and B, they are in the same direction, V1 and V2 are also in the same direction. So as the particle moves from A to B, this V2, this goes in this direction, and this angle becomes, this angle between V1 and V2, it increases. Okay. And it increases at the same rate as this angle. As B moves away from A, this delta theta also increases. So that means this angle between V1 and V2, this angle should also be equal to delta theta. Okay. This angle should also be equal to delta theta. Now, if you see this, then this is like an arc. This side and this side is like a radius. So we can say that delta theta is equal to delta V by V1, or I can write V2, but magnitude of V1 is equal to magnitude of V2 is equal to V. Okay. So we can write this as delta theta is equal to delta V by V. Okay. So now if we divide both sides by delta T, okay, this is delta T. So we have delta theta by delta T is equal to delta v by delta t whole divided by v. Now this delta theta by delta t, we have already got this expression to be equal to v by r. Okay, so that means we can equate these two equations. So we have v by r is equal to 1 by v delta v by delta t. Okay, or I can write delta v by delta t is equal to v square by r, is equal to v square by r. And what is this? This is the acceleration. Okay, so we have a is equal to v square by r. A is equal to v square by r. Okay, so this is the expression for the acceleration. This is the expression for acceleration. Okay, now this acceleration is the radial acceleration. This expression is the radial acceleration. Okay, now why I am calling this as radial acceleration? What is the reason behind this? Now see, we previously in the video I have already discussed in the earlier video that in circular motion we have two kinds of acceleration. One is along the radius, that is called radial acceleration, and one is along the tangent, that is called tangential acceleration. Okay, now the purpose of this tangential acceleration is to change the magnitude of velocity. Okay, it changes the magnitude of velocity. Okay, and this radial acceleration changes the direction of velocity. Okay, it changes the direction of velocity. Okay, acha. Now in this case, for deriving the expression for radial acceleration, what we have taken is uniform circular motion. That means here magnitude of velocity is not changing. So magnitude of velocity is not changing means tangential acceleration is 0. So tangential acceleration is 0 means the only acceleration in uniform circular motion is the radial acceleration. And here we got the acceleration as v square by r. This is the total acceleration we are getting in this case. But for uniform circular motion, the total acceleration will be along the radial direction because tangential acceleration is already 0. So that means this is the expression for radial acceleration. And radial acceleration is equal to a is equal to v square by r. Okay, so we have a radial acceleration is equal to v square by r. Okay, now we also know that v is equal to omega r. Okay, so if you substitute this value over here, we get radial acceleration is equal to omega square r. Okay, omega square r. So these are the two expressions for radial acceleration, either ar equal to v square by r, or in terms of angular velocity, omega square r. Okay, so this is one way of studying the derivation for radial acceleration. Okay, there is one more way for which I will make one more video.